I never thought learning English would be the thing that revealed who my real friends were. You know that saying, a friend in need is a friend indeed. I used to believe that without ever really questioning it, until I learned the hard way that sometimes the person you call your best friend might be the one silently rooting for your failure. Tell me honestly, if your closest friend betrayed you out of jealousy, would you forgive them or walk away for good? Because when it happened to me, I wasn't sure what the right thing to do was. It all started 2 years ago, when I joined this English Learning Institute in my city. I wasn't some confident speaker or anything. In fact, I was terrified of speaking in front of people. I joined the course because I needed English for my job interviews and also because I wanted to push myself. My best friend Sarah decided to join with me. We had been friends since college, always doing everything together. Same projects, same classes, same jokes. So it made sense to start this journey together too. We made a promise that we'd help each other improve and become fluent. I didn't know then that this promise would eventually break our friendship. In the beginning, things were great. We'd walk to class together, grab tea afterward, and practice speaking sentences with each other while laughing at our mistakes. I used to mix up tenses all the time, and she would correct me, sometimes a little too sharply, but I brushed it off. I mean, that's how friends talk, right? Our teacher, Mr. Imran, was a calm, encouraging person. He'd make us do daily speaking exercises, telling stories, debating topics, reading dialogues out loud. Sarah was always confident and talkative, so she naturally stood out. Everyone liked her. I was the quiet one who stuttered or forgot words halfway through. But slowly, I started improving. I remember the first day I gave a full presentation without freezing. I had spent the entire night memorizing my speech. When I finished, Mr. Imran smiled and said, "Good job, Ali. Your pronunciation has really improved." I'll never forget the proud look on his face, but what I'll remember even more clearly is the cold expression on Sarah's. She smiled at me, but it didn't reach her eyes. It was tight, forced. I didn't think much of it then. After that, I began to get small compliments more often. Classmates started asking me how I practiced. Some even said I spoke more clearly than before. I was happy, motivated, until Sarah started making little comments. "You think you're a pro now?" She'd tease. "Next, you'll be teaching English on YouTube." She'd laugh, but something about her tone felt different and like she wasn't joking. I tried to brush it off. I didn't want to believe jealousy could ever exist between us. Then one day, our teacher announced an English storytelling competition at the Institute. The topic was simple: a friend in need. Everyone had to prepare a story in English, perform it in front of the class, and the best story would get a small award. I was nervous but excited. It sounded like the perfect chance to challenge myself. I started writing my story right away. It was about two friends who supported each other through hard times. Ironically, I based it on my friendship with Sarah. Sarah told me she wasn't planning to participate. "It's a waste of time," she said. "These competitions are useless." I tried to convince her, but she shrugged. So I went ahead alone. For days, I practiced my speech in front of a mirror. I even recorded my voice and played it back to fix my mistakes. Every time I improved a little, I felt proud. I wanted her to be proud of me too. The day of the competition came. The classroom was decorated with colorful banners and everyone looked nervous. When it was my turn, my hands were shaking, but I took a deep breath and started speaking. My voice trembled at first, but then something clicked. The words started flowing naturally. I told my story with emotion, with honesty. I could see my classmates nodding, even smiling. When I finished, they clapped. Mr. Imran gave me a thumbs up. For the first time, I felt like I belonged there. But the moment I stepped down, Sarah didn't say a word. She didn't smile or congratulate me. She just looked away. Later, when the results were announced and I won second place, everyone cheered. Everyone except her. That night, I texted her, asking if something was wrong. She replied with one word: "Nothing." After that, everything changed. She started avoiding me. In class, she'd sit with other people. When I tried to talk to her, she'd give one-word answers. I felt like I'd done something terrible without realizing it. I even apologized once, asking if I'd said something wrong. She smiled and said, "No, you're just too busy being the star student now." That one sentence cut deep. A week later, something worse happened. During a group activity, I noticed some students whispering and laughing while looking at me. When I walked closer, they stopped. Later that day, one of my classmates, Farhan, told me that Sarah had been showing people screenshots of my old practice texts, messages where I'd made grammar mistakes, and making fun of them. She'd even called me cringe in one of her chats. I felt like the floor had disappeared under me. I couldn't believe it. This was my best friend. The same person who had once cheered me up when I failed a test was now laughing at me for trying. I went home that day with a lump in my throat. I wanted to confront her, but I was scared. I didn't want to fight. I just wanted my friend back. I spent the night wondering what I'd done to deserve this. Maybe success, even a small one, changes people around you. Maybe it threatens them. So that's the situation I was in. My best friend had betrayed me out of jealousy, and I didn't know whether to confront her or walk away. Before I tell you what I did next, I want you to pause and tell me in the comments. If you were in my place, what would you have done? Would you forgive her or let her go? The next day, I decided to face her. After class, I asked if we could talk. She sighed like it was a burden and said, "Fine, make it quick." My voice was shaking when I said, "Why are you doing this? I heard what you said about me. I thought we were friends." She laughed, actually laughed, and said, "Oh, come on. Don't be so sensitive. It was just a joke." I said, "A joke? You showed people my messages and mocked me." She rolled her eyes and said, "You're acting like you're perfect now. Everyone makes mistakes. Maybe you shouldn't take yourself so seriously." I couldn't believe how cold she was. I told her, "I never wanted to compete with you. I just wanted us to grow together." She looked at me and said something that broke me completely. "Well, maybe I don't want to be your shadow anymore." That sentence hit me harder than anything else. All those years of friendship, all the laughter, all the shared secrets, they suddenly felt meaningless. I walked out of that classroom with my chest burning. For days I couldn't focus. I stopped practicing English. I stopped speaking in class. I started doubting myself all over again. Mr. Imran noticed and asked what happened, but I couldn't bring myself to explain. Then one afternoon, he called me after class and said, "Ali, I don't know what's going on, but don't let anyone make you ashamed of your progress. You've worked hard for it. Don't stop now." That simple conversation pulled me back from the edge. I went home that night, opened my notebook, and decided to keep going. Not for Sarah, not for anyone else, but for myself. Months passed. I threw myself into learning. I started reading English books, watching videos, and even recording short storytelling clips to improve my fluency. Eventually, I began uploading those clips to a small YouTube channel. At first, no one watched them. Then slowly, views started trickling in. Comments appeared. People thanking me for helping them practice English through stories. It was surreal. One evening, I got a message from an unknown number. It was Sarah. "Hey," she wrote, "I saw your YouTube videos. You're doing great." I didn't know how to respond. After everything that happened, part of me wanted to ignore her. But another part, the one that still remembered our friendship, couldn't. So I replied, "Thanks." She messaged again. "I'm sorry for what I did. I was jealous. I shouldn't have made fun of you. You didn't deserve that." I stared at that message for a long time. I wanted to forgive her. I really did. But forgiveness isn't something that comes easy when someone breaks your trust. I told her, "I appreciate the apology, but things can't go back to how they were." She said, "I understand." And that was the last time we ever talked. Now, years later, my YouTube channel has grown. I teach English through stories just like the one I told that day in class, A Friend in Need. And every time I record a new video, I remember that competition. I remember how it started as something small, but turned into one of the biggest lessons of my life. Not just about friendship, but about self-worth. You see, sometimes people won't support you when you grow. They'll cheer for you as long as you're behind them. But the moment you start to shine, they'll pull away. And it's okay, because real friends don't compete. They celebrate your wins like their own. If there's one thing I learned from this whole experience, it's that betrayal doesn't define you. How you rise after it does. I didn't let bitterness stop me from improving. I didn't let jealousy silence me. I used the pain as fuel to become someone stronger. Someone who now helps others believe in themselves too. So, if you're watching this and someone close to you has made you feel small for trying, remember this. Your effort matters. Keep going. You might lose a friend along the way, but you'll find yourself. Like this video if you were on my side and if you've ever had a Sarah in your life, someone who couldn't stand to see you grow. Subscribe for more true and emotional English learning stories, and share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you all in the next story.